44, the Commanders 22. Smalls.
George Pickens has changed his offense.
Dallas offense standing on GP now that CD is back on the field. See what I did there?
I like that.
Washington, do not rush Jaden back. He's your franchise. Let him get healthy. Smalls, you won, I think, yesterday? 27-23 Packers over the Cardinals. Smalls.
The Packers may go as far as Josh Jacobs can carry them.
Micah Parsons good at football. Confirmed.
Green Bay Masters in ugly wins. Majors in ugly Masters. Majors in ugly wins. Atlanta and San Fran. San Francisco 20, Atlanta 10.
A reminder, a healthy CMC is a dangerous thing.
Bijan, be gone.
I don't understand the Falcons. And finally, Philadelphia beats Minnesota 28-22. Smalls.
Jalen Hurts is picture perfect. He gets the Eagles back in the win column behind a perfect passer rating.
Eagles passing game puts the hurt on Vikings defense.
Back to normal. Back to normal. They're that good. Philadelphia. We are on Sportscenter here on ESPN Radio. Let's talk about that game. As the Eagles and Vikings, that game has Philadelphia moving to 5-2 on the season. Minnesota's 3-3. 28-22. The Eagles beat the Vikings. Jalen Hurts with 3 touchdown passes. Both wide receivers got involved in a big way. Devontae Smith, 183 yards and a touchdown. A.J. Brown had 121 and 2 touchdowns. But the storyline of this game is that T.J. Hawkinson thought he got screwed on a touchdown catch late that potentially would have given Minnesota the victory here. Did he get screwed over on this, guys?
I mean, listen, when I initially saw it, I thought it was a touchdown. He controlled the ball through the initial impact of the ground, and then he lost control once he was on his back and the ball was on his stomach. It popped up, but the ball didn't look like it touched the ground in that moment. So I thought he made a catch. I thought it was a touchdown, but the ref said it wasn't a catch. They overturned it. They were on top of it. Even the replay ref that was on the broadcast explained it and initially thought it was an incomplete pass. So I guess there is some consistency in terms of how they understand the rule. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
Yeah, I thought it was a touchdown initially. I was hoping it was because I have him in fantasy. But
Yeah.
I think the storyline, okay, Hawkinson can tell us he got screwed over, and the Vikings can feel screwed over today. Carson Wentz is their quarterback, so, fine as a backup. You're not going too far, as we learned, with Carson Wentz as your quarterback.
No.
To me, the storyline becomes Philadelphia. They had a rough stretch for them. Back to normal? Everything fine with the Eagles again? Everything good? Or no, we're not there yet.
It feels like you're trending that way, right? When you have a disjointed offense and you're losing games, and then you come out in this game and the offense looks more cohesive, you're getting everybody involved. Jalen Hurts steps up, and he looks like the guy that we saw be the Super Bowl MVP in that game to ignite this offense, especially the passing game. You have to think epic collapse, but I can't unsee what I saw last year. They know how to compartmentalize these issues that they may have lingering in their locker room, or at least you certainly hope that they can, like they did last year. But there's too much talent on this team for me to be that concerned about them.
Can I ask y'all a question? Do we think they're going to win? But I thought the Eagles at their best, this group of players would be a team that would run the football first. That's not what they were yesterday. So I guess my question to you all, and this is not to say that they can't, but my question is, do we think that they're capable of replicating this type of performance week over week in the passing game?
Yeah, I'm going to say yes because of my belief in Jalen Hurts. But to piggyback on your point about the running game, I did not think that Saquon was going to have as good of a year this year as he did last year. Breaking news on that one, obviously, and one of the greatest seasons ever. But I thought when they added all these running backs, other guys would be good. I thought we'd be talking about, wow, Will Shipley's good. Tank Bigsby, they got from the Jaguars in a trade earlier this season. A.J. Dillon's out, who they got from the Pack. I thought they were just going to say, Saquon, you're not going to, almost NBA style, we're going to load manage Saquon, and then you're going to see all these other guys step up and be like, wow, you have a pretty good depth chart at that running back position. That just has not happened. And it goes back to probably the injuries and the defections across the offensive line. That this team needs to probably add more big pieces up front continuously to establish the running game. But you even asking that question is interesting to me because it means that you have some doubt, maybe, on a guy that you and I know, and Smalls, we've all been very supportive of in Jalen Hurts. You're not comfortable. Are you not comfortable? Let me do it this way. Are you not comfortable with them handing the offense to Jalen and say, we don't have a running game? We don't have one. We need to be a pass-first team to win games.
No, I just don't believe that elite offenses are imbalanced in that way. I think you have that.
Regardless of who the quarterback
Regardless of who the quarterback is. This is not an insult or a slight toward Jalen Hurts. I think he is more than capable. I said it before, I'll say it again. He's top 5 and he ain't 5. But I still think you have to have balance. You can't be a volume passing team and have 40 pass attempts every single game because opposing defenses are going to tee off on you. And at some point, in order to close out games, you got to be able to run the football. I'm pretty sure they wish they had a running game against the Denver Broncos a few weeks ago when they gave up 18-point lead, but they didn't. And so I guess that's the question that I have is, are we going to get the best version of the Philadelphia Eagles if they can't consistently move the football on the ground?
Coming up, everybody's trying to run off a 70-plus-year-old coach, but not the one you...
Back to Bo Nix. Brought the Broncos all the way home on Sunday, but his fourth quarter performance was unmatched in NFL history. He's the first player ever to throw multiple touchdowns and rush for multiple touchdowns in any quarter of any game.
All right, Tim, so another week, another candidate for Game of the Year. What did you like from Bo Nix and the Broncos specifically, though, on that game-winning drive?
I think I just like the fact that Bo Nix just hung in there and he kept playing because really he was struggling for a full 3 quarters. You get into the final drive, though, you have less than a minute left. I actually think that he's trying to throw the in cut here to Sutton, but instead, Mims is able to get hold of it. But then they clock the football, get an extra 5 yards because the Giants weren't on sides. And then a good play design here is they're probably trying to work the sideline with just 18 seconds left. You are, flirting with, the clock running out, not being able to spike it. They get to the perimeter, but then look at just the urgency to get the ball spotted so that they can clock it to give, an opportunity for Will Lutz to kick the game winner. I just think the operation in the poise to handle it that way. You heard Bo Nix say, he hadn't won a game like that in Denver. Well, he has now. And so I think the resolve, the grit, and the determination kind of play through, to deal with, struggling to play that way at the end was pretty impressive.
Yeah, huge moment for that team to be able to win that game and what that would do for them going forward. But for the Giants, brutal loss may be an understatement, Tim. Let's listen to Jackson Dart after that game. And as you would imagine, his emotions were felt.
I never felt like we were going to lose the game. So, I looked at the clock when they scored. I said, dang, we got a lot of time left. Geez, I had no doubt that we were going to go down there and score. Yeah.
Canty and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.